What's going on YouTube? Darksword255 here, where the numbers may be randomly generated, but the content itself is not, and we are doing another account takeover for my friend Y Fletch. Any old school RuneScape people get the reference. Anyways, guys, this account takeover almost and possibly aged me at least 70,000 years. We did an account takeover to get him to beat Hydra. Now, when I say beat Hydra, I mean we are going to try our best to beat Nightmare Hydra. And as you can quickly see here, it is a Titus team. And let me tell you guys, building a Titus team on an account with not a lot of like really high-end champions. I mean, he has some decent champions on his account. If we take a quick little look-see, and my face is blocking some of it, but overall, it's not, as you can tell, a lot of legendary champions. He doesn't have a huge roster like some of the other accounts that I've been able to play on and really like and also help out. So to become part of my team, click the link in the description right now to get Elenaril for free, as well as 3 more amazing epic champions as you level up. Here's how you do it. Log out of Plarium Play on your PC and uninstall it. Click the link in the description, register with a brand new email, launch raid, and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champion. Don't miss out on this chance to get a free Elenaril along with 3 epics as you progress through raid. Click on my link right now and let's get started. I think that this is going to be a very good representation of how to build a Titus team with really bare bones champions. He really doesn't even have that many damage dealer champions. But again, for a Titus team, that doesn't really matter. We're not really able to quote unquote cheat with this team either, because he doesn't have any leaders that have resistance that also add increased resistance. So all of these champions have to have insanely high resistance. So there's a couple tips and tricks, guys, that I ended up using to make this team work. This team will also work in Chimera, and I'll go through that team as well just very quickly for both the Hydra and the Chimera teams with Titus. First of all, guys, we are going to be jumping to Titus. I do not have merciless gear. Again, he does not he does not have any merciless gear. So I have him in lethal protection. It's just kind of the side. I would rather him have like cruelty as a secondary, but alas, that was not what we were able to do. We have him in 2 of the most important things: high defense, so he hits hard; high resist, so he doesn't get hit. We really actually need his resist to be a little bit higher, which could be easily remedied, but his resist needs to be around 455 for Chimera. Hydra, this is totally fine for him to be this high because I have plenty of resistance if I'm doing the Hydra battle. So we are good with Hydra here. Chimera, we need to jump that up to 450. Mastery is pretty straightforward. I actually have not even given him the blessing yet, because the blessing, if we look, gives him defense, attack, and HP, but this HP that it's going to give him is way worse than if we were going to get like this plus 600 defense. So I'm waiting before I get a 6 that, you know, get this crit damage boost whenever he gets a 4-star Titus to actually give him a blessing. If you guys disagree with my stance there, please let me know down in the comments. Now, the way that Titus teams work, you need 2 buff extenders and 1 reset champion. Now, you do get 1 free buff extender champion, and that is Lady Mikage. So what we have here is we have Lady Mikage. We want her to be around 300 speed. Our buff extenders and reset champions, we want around 300. Is that possible for this account? Not really. We got as close as we could, as fast as we can, so we are constantly buffing and extending all the buffs for all of our champions. We have her plenty of resistance at 462. Since I'm exclusively going to be using his Lady Mikage in PvE, I do not have his resistance high at all. We're mainly just using her as a buff extender and using obviously some of her other skills like the ally attack, so on and so forth. But so she has really low resistance. She is decently fast. You know, her crit damage doesn't really matter because we do have a target for the Hydra heads, and we'll go through that later in this video. But high resistance, high speed, that's important for your buff extenders. Now, this account has 2 different options. This account has a Wixwell. It also has a Brogni. So if I did not have a Wix, I could throw Brogni in here. Would it be as good as having a Wix? Absolutely not, but it would be a supplement for having Wix. And just because of the shield buff, I mean, you would still need buff extenders, but you know, you could figure that team out a little bit more. Brogni teams are a little bit more difficult to build for Titus, but you get your shield that much faster. Again, what is important right now? 281 speed. I'm trying to re-roll this to get that extra 12 speed. That should help out significantly. He has plenty of resistance. He has plenty of accuracy, so he can land his taunts when he attacks. Plenty of defense. You know, this guy is locked and loaded. So we have 2 of our buff extenders done. We have Titus built, done. Now we move on to the rest of the team. Now, what I ended up doing, which for my other accounts, I've done very similar stuff, is I have geared out a champion who will be doing a lot of AoE damage, and you absolutely want a block damage champion. So block damage and decreased defense. So that's why I'm using Ugo. If I did not have a good reset champion, like what I'm going to bring up to you, I would use Lamatsu. Lamatsu is great because she puts down decreased speed, block buffs. She puts down a lot of really great debuffs, but the AI for her reset is like very So I would rather just like click the auto button and get through it than actually have to manual it, or kind of just hope for the best. You can use Lamatsu. She is a good alternative, but if you just did the most recent fusion, you will be in an even greater spot. So we have Ugo here. We have her in a curse set, so when she does her big AoE hits, there's a chance of placing Hex on everybody. It's super important for the extra damage that you deal. Also, if the Head of Mischief, you know, has a person in it, there's a chance that she puts the Hex down on it, and then your guys can attack. But again, the Hex is a huge tool to help amplify your damage. And why is that? Because Hex basically spreads the damage to all targets that have Hex. If you hit one of the heads with Titus's ability, it spreads the damage across all of the heads that have Hex on it. So it's really important. I always put a Hex set on somebody, and that's why I again went with Ugo. Does he have other options? Yes, he does have a Michikage. He does have a Mithrala, but they don't offer the block buffs. And I personally feel that the block buffs are more impactful than running him, who is going to be putting down, you know, to decrease attack and defense because of the head that puts down the poison cloud, and you are forced to weak hit. Does that matter to Titus? No. Titus hits through weak hits, like he hits through poison cloud. But again, there are just many times that I've found that I've tried to put debuffs down and they miss. And because I don't have the debuffs down, the Hydra heads are just harder to deal with. They just maybe could steal, you know, there's a 5% chance that the Head of Mischief, even with that high resist, can steal your buffs, and then he spreads them, and then your run is just really, really messed up. So that's just how I prefer to deal with it. You know, everybody has their own preferred, you know, method. Moving on to one of the most important people, guys. It is your reset champion. So the main architect of these Titus teams, Titus, obviously. Wix, also extremely important, but if you have a Brogni or somebody along those lines, also like very important. Then another buff extender, that's why we're using Lady Mikage, and then a reset champion. And this reset champion could be a variety of different reset champions. You can use Painkeeper, which this account was using for a while because that was the only reset champion he had, until we got our boy Donnie over here. Donnie is amazing. He's amazing for a whole facet of different reasons. He's amazing for Hydra. He's amazing for Chimera, especially for Chimera, this team for Chimera. He's amazing. So I have him in a shield set. Keep in mind, guys, and I've said this in so many videos, I have never kept shields. I've never kept shields. I've always gotten rid of them until, of course, Titus came out and we needed a shield set. And then I was like, oh crap, I need a shield set. So all of these accounts that I have helped out when they're doing gear cleanses, I'm like, well, we don't need shields because of blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so we have him in plenty of resistance. And let me tell you, this was a Herculean effort to get this resistance. I'm going to show you guys real quick after this what I did to actually end up getting this 450 resistance, because let me tell you, I was clawing my hair out of my head. He does not have, while he does have a lot of gear there, it's not really good gear. So like, I'm kind of working with what I have right now, but Donnie is super important. Donnie's A2 is a buff reset for everybody other than him. His A3 is really important. It removes all debuffs, adds strength, and continue. So basically, the more buffs you have on all of your allies, when Wix does his A2, the more buffs everybody has, the greater the shield value that is given to everybody. So it's really important to be buffing all of your guys with as many buffs as possible. So when Wix does his A2, it's buffing that shield even faster. Now, finally, guys, we have our Hydra target right here, and that is Inquisitor Shamal here. I have him higher crit damage than my Titus, so the Hydra head 100% focuses this guy right here. Super important, because you don't want your Titus to get eaten. If your Titus gets eaten, he loses the shield, and then it takes a long time to build it back up. And it's still, even if you do build it back up, he just will never hit as hard. So that's why this team has a lot of RNG, because it depends on when Titus gets eaten. If Titus can get through everything, then you'll be able to do an unbelievable amount of damage. Again, guys, we're going to try. This is the team that I have right here. This is how I have it all set up, guys. Wix, he does his intercept first, which is putting the shield down on everybody. We're prioritizing his buff extending. I normally turn this off because he will passively use this skill. We definitely want him to be using his A2 first. Donnie, we're going to be leading with the, Secret of Oz, and then Shell Shocker. Lady Mikage, we turn off her metamorphic. We have her lead with the Imperial Decree, and then we're going to be prioritizing her buff extender. Ugo is going to be putting down her block buffs and decreased defense, and then Shamal is just doing Shamal things. Very easy tune for this team. So I'm going to go ahead, guys, and as you can see right here, quick battle has not unlocked yet. We're going to do a quick battle. Well, it's going to be quick for you guys. I'm going to battle, and I'll be back as soon as it's done. Alrighty, guys, I actually turned the light on. I'm super excited for this, guys. We did 192 million damage on Nightmare Hydra. My face is kind of blocking it, but Titus did 148 million damage by himself. Really happy. This is the first time that this account has been able to take down Hydra, guys. I'm super excited. This is going to be monumental for his account here. He's going to be able to finally do auto battles for Nightmare, guys, and he's going to be able to get all the rewards that Nightmare Hydra has to offer. I hope that this video was insightful for you guys. Make sure, if you have not already, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see everybody in the next one.